are watching TMG Enter, your 24-hour technology channel. ITR is brought to you in association with Netcraft, Covansys, Cerebra and Pentamedia.
Hello and welcome to the IT Hour User Day. I am Ramesh Prabhu. There was a lot of talk about digital entertainment. Your PCs were supposed to replace your TVs and e-books were expected to engage readers. There were a lot of expectations about music on the net. Now that Napster is out, where is the e-entertainment industry headed? Let's find out after the Tech Talk, coming up now. Sunil, welcome to Tech Talk on ITR.
Hi.
I want to talk to you about e-learning because it seems clear that in many big corporations, e-learning is slowly becoming a way of life, slowly but surely. Obviously, there are many advantages to e-learning. But if I ask you, in your experience, what would be the key differentiator? What is the key ingredient that has led to this?
Yeah, Ramesh, the most important change that has happened in organizations in the last 5 years has been that we have just stopped being product organizations. We are covering, putting a layer of services around every product that we offer. And we have become organizations with a face, And when we are talking about being an organization with a face, behind the face is a person. And it becomes very important that this person that is the face of the organization is, a person that is capable of putting the organization in positive perspective. That becomes an important driver. I believe that there is an inversion of the learning pyramid. Typically, organizations believe that they need to have a very well trained, a very competent senior management. We are now seeing that the inversion of learning pyramid literally makes it necessary for the organizations to deliver learning at the bottom level, which is large number of people. And e-learning makes it feasible to provide, well-established, well-validated learning to large number of people who are dispersed. So the first driver for e-learning is to make content available to a large number of people. That would be the first driver why e-learning is becoming increasingly important.
Now you talked about delivering content, so obviously you've got to create that content first.
Absolutely.
And I want to talk to you about the technology behind a few aspects of e-learning.
Yeah.
So first I want to talk to you about the technology behind content creation, and if you can tell me briefly also about the technology behind content delivery, content tracking, assessment and administration.
Excellent.
So let us talk briefly about content creation and the technology behind it.
Okay. E-learning has, ultimately e-learning products are delivered as web pages. So we are basically riding on technologies that were used to create web pages, but with a great deal of difference. And I can give you some examples why this is different. The one big difference is that e-learning programs are huge compared to any web application. I mean, a typical e-learning program could be in thousands of pages. And when you're creating something which is huge, you need to do the things in a special manner. You just can't adopt the fit and fix approach. You need to adopt approaches which are different. The technology that is significantly supporting creation of content in e-learning, there are 2 or 3 pieces of technology which are supporting. The first piece of technology which got into limelight about 4 or 5 years back was the multimedia. Ability to create static moving graphics, ability to handle sound, ability to handle video. That is one big technology driver for the business of e-learning. The second is the technology that assembles these together and creates it in formats which are relevant to the user, and that is where, as I was telling you, e-learning differs from any ordinary web page, because at the end of watching this particular page, you don't want the person to have felt good. You want the person to perform better.
Exactly.
The motivation changes dramatically. So there are technologies which are providing, there is growth of technologies which are providing ability to assemble multimedia together to provide a rich experience that enhances performance. So basically e-learning is, what is happening is that there is this congruence of several technologies which many of these were available, many of these are available, but the focus is increasing on their implementation within the e-learning sphere and dramatic adoption for improving performance, because that becomes the final goal then.
So that's as far as creation of content goes.
Yes.
Now I think delivery and tracking is just as important, if not more, because obviously you can create great content.
Absolutely.
Unless you deliver it in the right way to the right people or person,
absolutely,
it makes no difference.
Absolutely. Internet is becoming the most important medium to connect the learner to the content. In our educational institutions, one of the important things that happens is that you have others that are learning, there are instructors, there are experts, there are seniors, there are juniors. It is an atmosphere that helps you learn. We are seeing that increasingly it is becoming not just possible, but we are actually seeing that such atmosphere is getting created on the internet. You can have cohorts of students, 5 learners operating as a team. It doesn't matter where you are located. The relationship between an instructor and a student happening on the internet, the relationship between an outside expert. We always were very proud, particularly management institutions were very proud that we get industry practitioners. I don't see any reason why an industry practitioner should come only in management institutions. It could be in a school of journalism. It could be at a high school class in science, that you could get somebody that is a damn good scientist working in an industry to participate in this classroom. The only difference is now I don't drive to the school. I log on to the internet and start participating. So that is another important area we see emerging in e-learning, which is collaboration.
But what about, obviously at the end of all this you need an assessment tool.
Absolutely.
So how does the technology come in when it comes to assessment?
Yeah. One of the earliest applications of technology in e-learning was in assessments. These were the initial assessments were very dead kind of assessments, in which you just had a question asked and a response expected. That response would go into a database and you could do anything with that database. For example, today we are talking about the GREs and GMATs of the world happening on a web and stuff like that. But that, I believe, is the first phase. The learning cycle of assessment has started with those kind of assessments. Some of the work that we have done, for example, I'll share that with you. You provide a role play situation and then create live assessments based on the interaction that was just demonstrated with the student. And this assessment is not merely from perspective of gauging the learners, how much the person has learned and give a pass or fail, but an assessment as a tool to provide learning opportunity. If I made a mistake, do I have a corrective possibility at this particular stage? We are looking at sophistication which is no less sophisticated than a human to teacher interaction, that is a student to teacher interaction. Of course, the other kind of assessment in which I need to gauge the students, determine their competencies, give a pass or fail, is typically known as certification assessment. That, I think, is already very sophisticated, and we will see this becoming more commonplace.
I think it is safe to say we will constantly be on a learning curve.
Absolutely.
And e-learning is going to be a work in progress at all times.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So thank you so much for coming here and spending time with us, Sunil.
It's been a pleasure.
I wish you all the best. I hope to see you again.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
ITR is brought to you in association with Netcraft, Covansys, Cerebra and Pentamedia. You
are watching TMG Enter, your 24-hour technology channel.